Splitgate is a very special type of game, where positioning and planning takes precedence, and every encounter relies on your plan to form together faster, more efficiently, and overall better than anyone else's. This is a type of game that I coin as the thinking like. Splitgate is a beautiful display of what genre merging can do, and perfectly merges the games together. The puzzle aspect of Portal perfectly blends in with Halo's think and shoot playstyle, Halo being the first thing-like shooter, that's more to do with making a plan and acting on it than having godlike aim. This combination accumulates in a game that constantly confronts you with interesting situations to play with and explore. And to add to the genre merge is the fact that Portal's mechanics were new ideas at the time of conception. However, over the years they have become second nature due to Portal's popularity, opening the mechanic up to the idea of genre merging, which is exactly what we see here. It just feels natural for Portals to be added to more games, especially considering the fact that after Splitgate was released I fell in love with the Portals all over again. So much so that whenever I see a vaguely blue object with white dots on it, I try to Portal gun it in real life. Also, I'd like to say that I need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to apply for monetization. That means, if we crunch the numbers, I am 967 subscribers and 3,973 watch hours away from monetization. I know that seems pretty far, but Dream gained about 1 million subscribers per month at one point, so if you think about it, we're closer to getting monetization than Dream. Thanks for watching through this segment and enjoy the rest of the video. Also, I'm streaming on Twitch now. Check out twitch.tv/TheRealLaMason, links in the description. I do need to say quickly that copying good aspects of a game does not make the result inherently worse, especially since Splitgate has finally fixed what Halo was so sorely lacking. Halo is so frequently to me just a good game, however it does not have a primary gimmick to convince new audiences to play. Like Fortnite has its building and Titanfall has its movement, but Halo's just Halo. Sure, it's very unique compared to other shooters, but all of this uniqueness comes from many things working slightly differently, rather than one thing having a huge draw. Oh wow, that sounds really similar to what Splitgate did. That's crazy. This is much like what Charlie, otherwise known as Moist Critical or Penguin Zero, said in his Halo 5 video. Quote, "Let's say if you made Halo 3 today, I don't think it would be nearly as good as us remembering it being. It needs to be changed, new stuff needs to be added. The ground pound is great," referring to Halo 5. "It adds some depth to combat rather than just sit in cover and shoot." I know it's weird to quote the Big Moist when I'm talking about Halo, but I feel like even though Charlie's not the biggest fan, he is very respected and this quote fits perfectly. The way that I interpret this quote is that Halo does not stand too highly in the modern age of gaming, and needs to be refined with something that helps it stand out and adds depth. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's not a surprise, but I think Splitgate has perfectly captured that necessary spark to decorate their game with. They're perfectly cashing in on the desperately lacking amount of alternative Halo-like games, and I love it. Especially since they've just finished Halo's game loop without changing it to beyond recognition. Now time to talk about the unique ways to play the games, otherwise known as the game modes. For modes, I feel as if there's a pretty decent spread of stuff here, although I particularly enjoy the default team deathmatch, since it just gets straight to the point and allows you to focus on yourself. There was also team swap, which I really wanted to like because of how much it should have worked. The idea of Spec Ops feels just so natural for soldiers using portals to enhance their flanking abilities. I expected it to play like the clean house level from Quarter of just Rainbow Six Siege, but in reality, it's just a team deathmatch but with extra bullshit. If you're in a firefight with someone and they accidentally get a headshot, then you instantly die. Whereas normally team deathmatch stops you from winning by accident by not letting you instantly win off an accident, which does give the opponent a chance to redeem themselves after being headshot. It's fine if you're only playing it for a bit, because the insta-kill headshot mechanic isn't too intrusive, and can even be comical sometimes. And I guess it does encourage you to think more before you shoot, but that doesn't make up for the overwhelming bullshit. Damn, that got really emotional at the end there. Hopefully the next thing I talk about is a bit nicer. Let's see what it says on the script. Oddball fucking sucks. Yeah, stop the music, it's copyrighted. Oddball is extremely tedious to play because getting the ball once can cascade into guaranteed victory, since the ball gains points towards victory passively by just having ownership of it, and you can get points actively by killing with it, which is really easy because it's literally just a BFB. So that means you can basically camp behind a corner, melee once when someone comes after you, and then teabag and type GG easy in the chat. Although it would be remiss of me to ignore the one flaw being that when you have the ball, everyone knows your exact location. Regardless of that, it's still annoying to chase people around for a fucking ball! This part is pretty self-explanatory. The position of the portal spots are super nice, and I feel like the developers took great care to not put them everywhere, balancing the game. They also have it set up so you can get around the map super fast making use of these spots. The maps are also really detailed, so much so that I find new things about them every game, which is especially important considering how much Splitgate has to do with its maps, just like any other shooter. One example of this is the map Stadium. Stadium puts you right next to a portal spot, which you can then use to get all the way to the roof of the stadium to snipe the people leaving the other half of the stadium. Everything there took place in less than a second. However, there is counterplay to this strat. You can portal over to the other side of the stadium to deal with anyone in their top part of the stadium, but there's also counterplay to that. You see, if you use a grenade, then you can shut the fuck up, nobody cares, nerd! You get the point. Everything has counterplay, even the counterplay, creating this nice ladder sort of part of play, where the counterplay starts getting really nice and you start branching into counterplay that you made up on the spot. It's so satisfying to win using this method, and I genuinely think everyone should experience it. There's also an aspect of the game that I feel gets overlooked a lot. The jetpack. There are many areas of the map that lead to certain doom. I see we've got a good old Call of the Death vibe going on here. Anyway, if you want to see an enemy or even an ally portal that you can't see through, you might just jump through it without looking and fall into a pit, leading to your inevitable death. Well, fortunately for us epic gamers, the devs had the forethought to include the jetpack. This allows you to save yourself from certain doom and hop through ally portals without a chance of just falling into the void. Now onto some miscellaneous shit I like. Lastly, I'd like to talk about just the general stuff that makes me happy whilst playing and doesn't really fit any other category. The positivity that shines off this game like a beautiful aura of happiness is exemplified by the game's obsessive desire to compliment you for something you did in the game. The way that the rewards work is that every game you complete, the game compares how you did in that game to how you normally do on average. And every time you get above normal for a statistic, the game gives you a little gold medal thing, and it's just so nice! Because some of the statistics get really specific, so the chances of you doing better than you do on average is really high. So far, I've gotten gold on at least one stat every time, and I'm not even good at the game! You can also customize your character a lot to make them look dripping, absolutely bussin', completely styled, but unfortunately that is heavily tied to luck, so basically you have to get lucky to get a good looking skin, let alone one that looks nice and fits your personality. I love this game, and I hate it at the same time. It's so nice to play and get rewarded for everything you do, but it also pisses me off when I have to play oddball for my daily challenges! But I can't help but feel like that's a good thing. That's what makes the game finally start growing. It creates a sense of community, and I can't wait to see Splitgates grow. I'd like to say thank you to Splitgate and all of the good times it's offered me so far. Here's to more. And with that, thank you for watching this video, and goodbye. Also follow me on Twitch.